blessed. When my buddy KhAnubis told me I would be talking about micronations today, I was ready. By the way, hi, my name is DSM, I'm here on behalf of KhAnubis and I'll be talking about micronations today. I have given many minutes of my life to staring at maps, following borderlines, and seeking out microscopic islands in the middle of nowhere on Google Maps when I'm supposed to be working. When I was in school, I made the mistake of taking geography at GCSE, so I had triple geography every Monday morning without fail. That was my nightmarish reality. However, I am more than willing, 10 years on, to rekindle that love by asking the question that you've already seen by now in the title. Are micronations real countries? Well, since I'm pretty into my words, I should probably start with the definition of what a country is. That'd be good, wouldn't it? And that is a nation with its own government occupying a particular territory. We are discussing the micro editions of nations, so let's just chuck that definition in as well. A large body of people united by common descent, history, culture, or language inhabiting a particular state or territory. So this early on in the video, it is important to clarify that while the two of them are synonyms, a country and a nation are still two separate entities with the capabilities of coming together. While we're on the synonyms, we should probably have a quick look at those. I said quick. Life's short, be a pedant. I am going to look at those more in depth in a second, I'm not Satan. But first of all, let's just have a quick nosy at the Micronations Wikipedia page. A micronation, sometimes referred to as a model country or new country project, is an entity that claims to be an independent nation or state but is not recognized by world governments or major international organizations. So what we can garner from this information is that micronations say they're countries, but the bigger ones don't exactly agree. I am making a video on micronations, so I should probably show you the list. Wow, there's a lot. Well, at least they're recognized somewhere. A lot of micronations have gone the extra mile when it comes to sort of cementing their own individual identity, like minting their own currency, making their own uniforms, and their own flags. I love flags. Oh, there's so many good ones. Also, have you seen the uniform of the Arakan Empire's dictator? It is everything. We have decided to stand. Looking back at the definitions that Google and Wikipedia gave us, I did notice a couple of similarities. For example, some form of definitive leader, an established government, and people who are united by a certain identity. But is that all you need? Well, there's also this super useful checklist from the Montevideo Convention in 1933, written by people who know a lot more about this than I do. Obviously, yes, this document is 85 years old at the time of recording, and things are always constantly subject to change. However, many countries do still follow these 4 basic rules, and I'd really like to keep this video under the 10-minute mark, so we're using them too. So if the world's governments are not recognizing micronations as legitimate actual nations, it would be fair to assume that they obviously don't meet the requirements to be considered an actual country. I'm not going to assume, I'm a guest. That'd be rude. I am hosting though, so let's just play a cheeky game for a minute, shall we? So here we have the 4 very important points of the Montevideo Convention, but how many of our micro buddies actually meet all 4 of them? That was quicker than expected. I noticed pretty early on when going through the list that the 4th rule in particular was a definitive make or breaker when it came to micronations. Because micronations aren't recognized by other countries, there is no capacity for them to enter into relations with them. In fact, the only recognition micronations receive are from other micronations, so it doesn't count. However, when it comes to deciding who is what, it is much less about logical reasoning and a lot more about politics. Queen Anastasia of Ruritania, a micronation enclaved in the United States, described micronations as a political statement and a direct response to how they felt things were being run in their countries of origin. A lot of people on the outside believe that all of these micronational leaders are just role-playing, which is understandably something they hate a lot, because it carries with it the implication that what they're doing is not to be taken seriously. Many of the countries we reside in today and had drilled into our brains in good old geography class were also very heavily contested at the time that they were made. So honestly speaking, it doesn't come as any surprise that micronations are currently receiving the same treatment. We are at a point in history where the political climate is possibly the fiercest it's ever been. But the difference is less and less people are afraid of taking a stand. You know what countries are? Complicated. Some are still fighting over land and borders. Some are judged solely on their defense strategies, and some are just straight chilling. So to summarize, if no already recognized country recognizes a micronation as its own country, it's not a country. That is probably the simplest, easiest definition there is at the moment. I'm not gonna say concise, nothing I do is concise. Are micronations nations? I'd say so. They're united by a number of things, and that is what a nation is defined as. But are they countries? Not yet. However, in the last 30 years, some countries have changed their names, some new countries have been born, and some just want to update their friendship circle. So it's not exactly big news that the world is constantly subject to change. I mean, heck, some countries we know and love are still not recognized by everyone. Maybe in the next 30 years or so, these little guys will get the recognition they've been after. Hey noobs! How'd I do?
Excuse me? Noobs? I will inform you that this channel has existed since 2009. Actually, that nickname's kind of funny, I'll let it slide. In all seriousness though, a big thank you to Emma of DSM for taking on this question and executing it despite it not really being her main subject of focus. So if you're wondering just what the hell is going on here, 6 channels from WeCreateEdu are taking part in a huge back-to-school collaboration, the Knowledge Swap Edition. If you want to see where I've been this week, head over to my friend Patrick Kelly's channel Corporus, where you'll see me talking about the effect that your position in history has on your health. It's actually really interesting, seriously. I delve into topics about the history of medicine and all that. Oh, and subscribe to DSM for more language and etymology related videos in that oh so iconic British sarcasm. Either way, see you on Sunday.